chia seed, and well, I mean that's the same chia seed, but another smoothie. Pineapple spinach. It's a vegan pineapple spinach smoothie from Smoothie King. I'm sure you can find the recipe online. And it's got like vegan protein stuff in it, and I don't remember what else, like bananas or something. I got a spoon this time. Ooh, shit. I spilled a bunch. I don't like that. It's wasteful. Speaking of wasteful, last time they gave me the, like, leftover, what was in the smoothie blender in a separate cup than, like, a tiny cup. But this time they didn't. And I'm thinking, I hope they don't throw it away. I hope they eat it or something. It'd be wasteful. Okay, that's plenty. But I got a spoon, so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to put that on the thing. I got a spoon so I can stir it up easier. I'm trying not to spill it. You can't really see what I'm doing. It's probably disorienting, but still. You know, like when you got cereal and you're like trying to get all the cereal wet. That's what it feels like. It's just like on the top layer, so I need to kind of get it deeper in there. I'm not even sure if this is pointing at the cup or not. I'm so like interested in what I'm doing. I'm not even paying attention to you guys. That's good enough. We need a solution to the plastic and the styrofoam and the bullshit. As a consumer, it's like impossible to escape. What it is big oil has convinced us that plastic is the end-all be-all to all of our needs. So then companies buy it, it's cheap. We can make things out of anything, but they tell us it needs to be plastic for sanitation, for affordability, for durability. But we can make sanitary, durable things out of whatever. It's just money's fake, you know, like if the government wanted to subsidize things that was good for us, it could. It doesn't subsidize fruits and vegetables. It subsidizes meat and processed foods. So that's why McDonald's is like $1, but an apple is like $2. Anyways, catch you guys later. Well, actually, no. Actually, no. I was thinking I should get back to work, but I kind of want to talk about something. Mosquitoes. It is mosquito season in Arkansas. I'm thinking about the places I frequent, like certain apartment complexes and stuff I go to a lot. I'm thinking about getting some like honey balm seeds and some lavender seeds, basil seeds, and just kind of like casually like leaving them around these places, like especially apartment complexes, because like I don't like landlords, and I understand that the people that live there really don't have any choice of how things are managed. I have to get like, I think I talked about it on this channel, the orange oil. This is good for ants and any kind of biting bug. And then also I got this for, a lot of times I'll walk onto porches and stuff where people smoke cigarettes, or it's just gross. So I spray that on my feet. But yeah, I'm gonna start like, I'm gonna get some like lavender seeds and some different kind of seeds. And just casually leaving them places. You know, I was thinking about my oak trees. So if I decide to grow oak trees in my car, I'm not sure where I would plant them. But then I got to thinking I could just give them away. You know, like people, how they go to McDonald's, how they go to Walmart and they give out puppies and kittens and stuff, and give out oak trees. By the time I get to the layer of seeds, because it's like probably that thick, they're all gonna have absorbed the moisture and they're gonna be good. Yeah, I really hope that the workers like drank the smoothie or something, because that would just be wasteful to just throw it away. And that would make me sad to know if they're just throwing it away. Like, also, I can't exactly ask them. I can't be like, hey, last time y'all gave it to me, it's like, what do you do with it? Do you eat it? Because then they're like, that would put them in a weird position there, and I think I'm like judging them for eating it or whatever. And this whole parking lot, this spot and that spot are the only two that have shade. Like, out of all of these parking lots, actually. We need more trees. Anyways, I really do need to get back to work. So, I can't remember if I showed you guys these or not, but they're these bracelets by Hello Bello. I broke this one, but I keep them in my car after I've worn them for a while. Still kind of has the smell to it, so probably still kind of works. But it has a natural mosquito repellent on it, and it's made out of like, I don't know, you can find it online, Hello Bello mosquito repellent wristbands. They also make sprays and stuff. Um, these are designed for children, but I've been wearing them because, I mean, they're stretchy, so whatever. I play with them so much. You know, like those old phones that have the cordy things? I would always play with those too and end up messing them up where they're like weird. That's what happened with this, is it's like weird now. But this one, like I said, I broke, and so I just kind of twisted the ends together and I put it up here to hopefully help repel mosquitoes out of my car, but also I wear them when I go and to places that have lots of mosquitoes. There's certain complexes I go to, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be bad. I already know. Like, I go ahead and I spray myself down with that orange spray, and I put the bracelets on, do a little prayer, like, anyways, so, yeah. Because, like, what is it? The traditional mosquito repellent. If I heard it, I would be like, yeah, that's it, but I can't think of it. It's super toxic though, and so I've been trying to use like herbs and stuff instead. It seems to work when I'm wearing them, and when I have the orange spray sprayed on me, I never get any mosquito bites. You know, Delta 9 is now legal in Arkansas. Not Delta 9. Delta 11 is now legal in Arkansas. I'm not even sure if I can talk about this on YouTube, but I guess we'll find out. So, I've been thinking about getting some, but also I don't know. Because I've gone so long without it. Like, I feel like I'm fine. Before, when I lived with my dad, I was so stressed out all the time, and I was suicidal like all the time, all the time, all the time. And the only thing that alleviated it, even just a little bit, was being so completely stoned. Like, literally, I was a medical marijuana patient, and I haven't renewed my card because I haven't been smoking, and I've been, living in my car, so I got other things I got to pay for and stuff. But I haven't needed it. When I lived with my dad, I would wake up, and immediately, before I would even eat breakfast, because I wasn't even hungry without smoking, I would wake up, and I got to the point where, like, at first I started off just smoking, and, like, I would have, like, one or two puffs, and then eat breakfast, and then a couple more puffs, and then go to work, and then come home from work and have, maybe a pipe full, and then I would go to bed. And then it became more and more. It was like I'd have a whole pipe full before I went to work, and then I have a whole pipe full before I had breakfast. When I say pipe full, I mean maybe like a fourth of a gram, and then I would have another one right before work, and then I would have 3 or 4 when I got home, and then it got to where I was vaping marijuana at work as well, and then it got to where I started doing dabs, and those are super strong, and then it got to where I would wake up and do dabs, and then do dabs before work, and then go to work and vape all day at work, come home and do dabs until I went to sleep. And that's just how it was. And if I quit, like if I was like, you know what, I need a tolerance break, or if I was just super busy, or if I ran out and hadn't bought any for a couple of days, I would hit this like emotional rock bottom. It felt like where I was just so like I would start attempting suicide. That's typically the most often I attempted suicide is because I wasn't high or I wasn't high enough. And so I would start attempting suicide, and I was super depressed and stuff. Well, then I ran away, I left, and everything. I didn't even think about it. It didn't even cross my mind. I left and I was gone, and like I went back to the hospital after a little while, and because I was going to the hospital every single week almost. Like I would get out for 1 or 2 days, and then I would go back in for 3, 4 days, and then I'd be out for 1 or 2 days and go back for 3 or 4 days. And this happened from the time I was 21 until I was 24. And so I had gotten out of the hospital, came home, he attacked me, called the police. They said there's nothing they can do about it. I should leave. So I started packing up my things, left. As I was leaving, he was coming in to try to stop me. Got out of there. I brought like gummies and stuff with me, but I never took them or anything. I was just like in panic mode and I just left. And then I started working at Amazon because when I was living with him, I had a job, but he made me lose my job. So I was jobless at the time I had left. And then I had applied for Amazon right before he had attacked me, like a couple days before that. And so after I left, then I started working at Amazon a few days later. So I started working at Amazon and didn't think about it. I really wasn't even suicidal. I mean, the night that I went back to the hospital, I was suicidal, but then I went into the hospital and I didn't even take medication or anything. I was just, I guess I'd been there so much. It was like familiar. And then I left and haven't been suicidal since. And like it's really bizarre because I was so just all the time, just I want to die, attempting self-harming, doing all this crazy stuff. And then once I left that environment, literally within a few days, I was fine. And like I said, I wasn't smoking weed or anything, and I never even thought about it. Never thought about shit, I need to go to the dispensary, or I'm not high, I feel like shit, or I'm so suicidal, or anything like that. I was fine. And then when I went to the hospital, I told them, I was like, yeah, I quit smoking weed. And they were like, oh, why? And I was like, oh, because like I'm not, around my dad anymore. I'm not being triggered all the time anymore. And then at the hospital, another person asked me why. And I told them it was because I'd taken Depakote. And that was like a long time before I had actually quit smoking weed. So I don't really know why I said that. I think that was just like, I felt like that was what they wanted to hear, and I'm really good at figuring out what people want to hear and telling them what they want to hear. And so I just naturally, that was my knee-jerk reaction, was to tell her that. And then, but like I said, I had been smoking after that, so that didn't really make sense. But so then, no, maybe I was taking Depakote when I had left. So yeah, I mean the line's kind of gray. Maybe it was because I was taking Depakote that helped me come off of it, but I was taking Depakote, and like right before I had left, and then I stopped taking it because I had a bad reaction to it and stuff. But even though I wasn't taking that anymore, and I honestly don't think it had anything to do with that. I think that was just a coincidence. I was on that medication when I decided to stop. I think what actually got me to stop was moving out and not being triggered all the time and needing an escape from being triggered. Um, so I haven't smoked weed since then. And I was thinking about it like yesterday, and normally used to, when I would think about it, it would just be like, I need it now, and like I would go to any lengths to get it. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, it probably isn't the best decision to spend money on that, even though I could get it because it's legal to get the THC 11, or I mean the Delta 9. I mean the Delta 11. Sorry, the Delta 11. The reason I keep saying Delta 9 is because that's legal in other states, and I've tried it in other states. But even though, so I knew I could go get it, but I was like, I have the money to go get it, but I could probably use that money for something else. And today I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I could, but I don't really want to buy a vape, and that's all they sell around here is the vape versions, because it can have like lead and mold and stuff in it. Before I would have been like, fuck it, like I don't care if it has lead and mold in it, like I just need to get fucking high before I literally kill myself. And then, but I was like, yeah, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Then I was looking online and I found that I could get the actual bud shipped to me. And I was like, I might do that. And the only reason I'm thinking about I might do that is because it helps me gain weight. Like anytime I am smoking weed, I gain weight. I get up to like 130, 135, but when I stop smoking, that's when I get down to the 115s. Right now, I'm at like 118. I don't like that. I don't like how I feel. I like it when I have more weight. I like it when I'm doing better. So I thought about, maybe it would help me with that. Um, but I'm not like super suicidal anymore. That's a huge breakthrough. So I think this is a good little tolerance break for me. It's a good little recovery, refractory period. I'm getting some good sleep. I'm going into REM sleep. I'm having all these really nice dreams. Even if the dreams aren't nice, like just the fact that I'm dreaming is a good sign because you need to dream. And when you smoke marijuana, and you're high, you're consistently high all the time. You go to bed high, you wake up, you get high, you stop going into REM sleep. It prevents you from going into REM sleep. And it's the same with alcohol. Like if you're constantly drunk on alcohol and you go to sleep drunk, you don't go into REM sleep. And if you do this every single night, back to back to back, this can cause psychosis. And like I'm not a doctor, so if I'm wrong on this, whatever. But basically your brain is like, hey, I need to dream, I need to go into REM, but I can't do it while you're sleeping, so I'm just going to do it while you're awake. And so it stresses your brain out. You never actually get to that part of your sleep, and that creates more stress hormones, creates a lot of problems. So I think, the fact I'm not smoking right now is a good thing. It's a nice recovery. But who knows? I might renew my medical card. That would take a lot of money because I have to pay for a special doctor because like a normal doctor, for some reason, they don't do it. So I have to go to a doctor that will do it, which means they're not in network on my insurance. So I have to pay out of pocket. Plus I have to pay the state like $99. It used to be less than that. It used to be like $50. But I looked on there yesterday, it was $99. So, you know, once I get my car payment kind of under control, and I feel like, I get some car insurance because I don't have car insurance right now. So once I get car insurance and I get my car payment under control, that'll be something I might look into. Until then, I'm fine. Like, I mean, literally the only thing that's bothering me is the fact that I'm so underweight. But I'm working on it, and being underweight versus being kind of sleep deprived in a way, which one's worse? And, I don't have to wait. I could look into the different vapes and stuff and see which kind of vape would be safe. Because not all of them are bad. Some of them are tested. I don't know. There's a vape shop right there, and that's what's got me thinking about it. Is I keep staring at it, and my mind's like, just walk over there and get one. And my other part of me is like, nah. And then the part of me that's really childish is like, why not? It'd be so fun. Weed is not addictive, but you can be addicted to anything. Just like food is not addictive, but you can be addicted to food. There's literally people who can be addicted to water. Like I've seen this on the internet or something where like somebody was literally addicted to water. So those things are not inherently addictive, but they can be addicting. Is that right? Did I say that? I don't think I said that right. But my point is that you can be addicted to anything. The word addicted is so funny. It has the word dick in it. I might just walk over there to cross 4 lanes of traffic. I'm finally down to the seeds. Anyways, I have no idea about the Delta 11 stuff. I've tried Delta 9, and that was that's how I felt on that. Was like, oh my gosh. I went to Georgia, and I was in the parking lot, so I go into the gas station and I buy it, and I go out to my car and I plug it up to the charger, except the charger, and I fill up my tank with gas, and I'm sitting there playing on my phone, and I'm like, it's probably charged good enough. So I take it, and I take a hit, and I'm pulling on it, and I'm like, it must, like, in my mind, I'm thinking it must not be working, it isn't turned on, maybe I'm not pulling hard enough, maybe I'm not pulling long enough, maybe it didn't charge long enough, and so I'm like, and just like, as soon as I started breathing out, it was like, smoke, just solid, like not just like a little bit, but a solid cloud, and it completely filled my car, and I was like, and I immediately started having an asthma attack, so I started choking, and I didn't have my inhaler. I was in Georgia, and I left my inhaler at the house in Arkansas, and I start coughing and laughing, and I realized I should not be driving. And I'm like, so I do, this lady's watching me this whole time. So I do this, and I'm like coughing, and I'm like, God, I'm an idiot. And she kind of laughs too. And then I go into panic mode, and I'm like, oh God, what do I do? I'm in Georgia. I don't know how to drive in this city. I don't know where I'm at. I can't drive. I'm high. And I'm like, I'm having an asthma attack. I need to get an inhaler. So that motivates me to drive. Okay. So I'm like, all right. So I go to the Walgreens, and I'm like, I need an inhaler. I just had an asthma attack. And she's like, oh, and she looks in the system. She's like, what's your name? And she looks in the system, and she's like, yeah, if you've gotten an inhaler from a Walgreens within the last 6 months or last 2 years or something like that, then we could get you another one or a refill on it if it has a refill. But it looks like the last one you got from us was, this amount of time, which that was too long ago for us to do it. So you'll have to get an appointment with your doctor to get a new prescription. And I'm like, still panicking. Like, I'm obviously not having an asthma attack, but I'm like, so what do I do? And she's like, well, you don't look like you're having an asthma attack right now. And I'm like, no, this happened earlier, like 10 minutes ago. But I would like to get an inhaler because if it happens again, she's like, do you have asthma attacks a lot? And I was like, no, that's why I haven't had to get an inhaler in so long. And like that's what she's thinking too, right? If you haven't had to get an inhaler so long, like you obviously don't have them a whole lot. And she's like, right, okay. And I'm like, so do you have anything on the shelf that would help with asthma attacks? And she's like, no, unfortunately, we don't sell anything like that. Um, and she's like, if you do find any kind of products like that, I wouldn't trust it. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, so what if I went to like an emergency care center here? Would they be able to prescribe me one, or would it have to be my primary care doctor? And she's like, honestly, I don't know, but you could call one of them and ask them if you could come in to get one, or you could call your primary care doctor and see maybe they can send you a prescription to Walgreens and we can fill it. And I'm like, okay. And then I leave and I go to my car and I'm just like, oh, I should have got snacks. And then I'm like, I'm fine. Like, I'm totally fine. I don't need an inhaler. Like, I'm literally fine. Like, sometimes I have asthma attacks after I hit something, especially that huge. I was not expecting it to be that huge. And so I was like, it's fine. And so I go back to the hotel, and I'm like chilling, eating, doing whatever. And I'm like, all right, let's try this again. And I'm like, I'm not gonna die. Like, the worst thing that's gonna happen is just gonna hurt. If I have an asthma attack, the worst thing that can happen is it's gonna hurt. I'm not gonna die. So I take another hit, and I'm like, perfectly fine. Never didn't have an asthma attack after that. Just paranoid. And I was so happy. I was driving around Georgia, and I was like, oh, this place is so pretty. I was just really, really admiring it. And like, I wish I had like the setup I have now to do the dash cam videos, because I have a channel that does like dash cam videos. I wish I could have done that when I was in Georgia, because I was actually the place that inspired me to do that. I had like a shitty dash cam, but I was like, man, I wish people could see this and like actually see what's going on, because like the dash cam I had was just like, you wouldn't want to watch it. The quality was so low, it just gives you a headache. Dude, I'm thinking about it. Like, I'm really thinking about it. Nah, you know what I'll do? I know a place in my hometown that sells them. I'll go tomorrow and get them and get that tomorrow. That's what I'll do. But yeah, I'll make a video about it. Like, I always tried, like, when I was before, like, I would think about it after, but I would want to make a video of like me sober and then me high, because I was constantly high, so I was very rarely sober. And then when I was sober, I was like, go to the dispensary, get the stuff, pack the bowl, hit it, like, let's go. And like, before I literally die, like, I'm literally gonna kill myself. And so then I would like have a video, and it would be like 2 seconds before I'd hit the bowl. And I never had any videos like of me like way before I had gotten high. And if I did have any videos of me before I got high, I would like had already been high. Like, even from like the night before, like, oh, I just woke up and I'm not high yet. This is what I'm like, you know. I'm talking like sober for a little bit, like pissed off. And so I kind of want to get like, you guys see me now, and like, this is probably like my baseline. This is like me not being triggered. I'm not suicidal. I'm not on any medication. I'm not taking any drugs. So this would be like my baseline. And then whenever I hit the vape, we'll see if I change in any kind of way. But I always wanted to document that, and like to really tangibly show like, this is my experience and what I'm experiencing. I'm going from this like dark place to being okay. Especially to like promote like medical marijuana and stuff, because I think it's a great thing. I think it should be like a thing. I'm glad that it's medical. I'm thinking about getting my card again. Um, the big thing about it being recreational is it makes it more accessible. But with it being medical, they have like a doctor that like works at the dispensary and monitors the patients coming in, and like knows how much you buy, and they have a record of like what you buy, what you like to buy. So when you come in, they're like suggest to you things that would work well for you, because everybody's body's different. Everybody's body metabolizes things differently. Their brains react to things differently. So, and you're looking for different effects. You have different lives. So they were able to, based on records of what you had bought before, figure out what would be good to suggest to you. And then you come in and it's kind of like an eye test with like A or B, B or C, C or D, 1 or 2, 2 or 3, 2 or B, and it's like, that's kind of how they do it. Is like, you come in and they're like, well, we got sativa or indica, what would you like? And you're like, okay, well, I'm kind of looking for this. And this gives them like a profile. Like, if you come in and you say, I'm looking, I come in and I'm like, I have PTSD, I deal with depression and anxiety. So they're going to help me find something that isn't going to make me anxious, something that can help with PTSD, something that helps with depression. Somebody that comes in that says, I have back pain, chronic back pain, and that's why I'm here, they're going to give them something different. Someone who comes in and says, they have different problems, they're something different. Someone who's like, I have cancer and I'm trying to find something that helps me have a better appetite. They're going to aim that towards, something that's going to give them a better appetite. So everybody is different, and they kind of have this profile on you of what works for you. And that's why I like the medical. But what I don't like about it is that it is expensive to get your card, and you have to update it every year, which means you have to get an appointment every year, and then you have to pay for it through the state every year, and you have to wait for it to renew. And it's just a big thing that I wish it was medical, but I wish the medical was free. Because, I mean, the state makes so much money off of taxing it anyways. Like, it's ridiculous that you have to pay even more. But it's whatever, So, yeah, I mean, I'll work on getting my medical card back just so I can be, like, back on what is good for me and not just like random stuff. Because like even the like Delta 11 from like a gas station, you know, that like that's fun and whatnot, but that isn't like necessarily like what would medically benefit me. So I'll try it, but I'm gonna get my card too after I get like my car insurance, because I got a ticket the other day and I don't even have car insurance. Um, so I got to get car insurance, and I got to get my car payments up to date and stuff like that. So, you know, once I do that, then I'll have money. So we'll see. My boyfriend likes to hang out on the weekends, which is fun, but I'm gonna have to figure out a way to hang out with him still, but also not be losing so much money, because I end up spending the night with him and spending the whole Saturday with him, and then I end up losing like $100 a week. Which, I mean, you know, that's kind of selfish of me to be like, oh, I'm losing $100 a week. Because, I mean, he takes me out to dinner and he's spending money on me. So, I mean, he's losing money too. But also, if I could figure out, like, for us to still hang out, but me find a little chunk of time to go work, maybe so I'm not losing quite as much. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to, like, I love the relationship and I love him to death, but I'm just thinking in, like, a money type of mode right now. Also, speaking of money, once I get my car insurance, then I can sign up for Uber Eats and hopefully make more money. So that would be pretty beneficial. But, you know, I mean, me taking a little break every week is good. And I think that's kind of what he's doing, is I think he's looking out for me and helping me, just by taking a day off. And because he had mentioned that before, you know, he's like, it's good to take a day off work. And so I think he's just looking out for my well-being. He's a really sweet guy, and that's what I like about him, is he's really sweet. It's something that I'm not really used to. I'm not used to people being genuinely kind. I'm always kind of like, what's the catch? You're trying to trick me, aren't you? That's just my natural, or my like programmed response. So to have him teaching me that people can genuinely care about me and people are genuinely nice is a good thing. Anyways, yeah.